Political violence has become all too common in American society, and this is not who we are.
This kind of violence is becoming far too common in our society. And I don't give a damn if it's coming from one particular side or the other.
We are not strong right now. This is a very broken country.
On the hard right, we are seeing more people who embrace violence. But we are now starting to see that on the left as well if you look at polls. And the number of homicides, for the first time, we've seen an increase in fatalities coming from the hard left when they were absent for years and years before. That being said, a good polling number that we have, about 78% of Americans believe that this is a problem, and just about 3/4 reject this type of violence, root and branch.
We've got to get to a point in this country where we can disagree and not resort to violence.
Violence, which affects so many different people of so many different political persuasions, is an affliction of America.
Let's wait a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order. Shh. The House will be in order. Shh. The House will be in order.
There is a role for leaders to model this, and the leaders are the highest at the presidency, but also the soccer coaches and the school officials as well. We have to institutionalize conflict resolution and de-escalation, and we're not doing it. We're rewarding demonization.
We start today's other headlines outside Chicago. The Department of Homeland Security says an ICE officer shot and killed a suspect who had tried to avoid arrest by driving his car into officers. Authorities say the incident took place in the Franklin Park suburb about 18 miles west of Chicago. One officer was hit by the vehicle, was taken to a hospital, and is now in stable condition. DHS says the suspect was in the country illegally and had a history of reckless driving. The shooting comes amid a broader federal immigration crackdown in the Chicago area. Meantime, President Trump says he's sending National Guard troops to Memphis to address crime there. On Fox News this morning, the president said the state's Republican governor and the city's Democratic mayor are, in his words, happy about the plan. Later at a news conference, Mayor Paul Young confirmed his commitment but made clear he doesn't necessarily agree with the approach.
I did not ask for the National Guard, and I don't think it's the way to drive down crime. However, that decision has been made. My commitment is to make sure that we work strategically to ensure that this happens in a way that truly benefits and strengthens our community.
Other Tennessee officials are more critical. The mayor of Shelby County, which includes Memphis, criticized the move in a social media post, saying, "No one here is happy, not happy at all with the occupation, armored vehicles, semi-automatic weapons, and military personnel in fatigues." This week, Memphis police reported a decrease across all major crime categories in the first 8 months of 2025 compared to previous years. Missouri's Senate passed.
President Trump says he is sending the National Guard to another U.S. city, Memphis, Tennessee. It's all part of what he says is his administration's crackdown on crime.
We're going to Memphis. That's the next city. Deeply troubled.
Let's bring in NBC News senior Homeland Security correspondent Julia Ainsley. Julia, what does this mean for Memphis? What more did the president say? Well, this came as a surprise, Kate, for a lot of people who have been so focused on Chicago as the next city and possibly Boston as a place that Trump wanted to send more federal resources. But this isn't as much immigration focus as it is crime focus. Take a listen to that extended soundbite and tell me what you think on the. I'll tell you what I think on the other side.
The mayor is happy. He's a Democrat mayor. The mayor is happy, and the governor, Tennessee, the governor is happy. Deeply troubled. We're going to fix that just like we did Washington.
So he's talking about how local government there is actually pleased to see him coming in. Now, we haven't seen the statement yet from the mayor of Memphis today, but this could also be in coordination with the governor. There was recently a ruling that said that Trump could not send National Guard into places like Los Angeles that didn't approve of it. In this case, he may have the okay from a state like Tennessee. We should also say that the police department in Memphis says that they are at a 25-year low when it comes to crime in the city.
We thank you for watching, and remember...
Breaking news, a man is dead and an ICE agent seriously hurt after an immigration arrest ended in gunfire in Franklin Park. Our Suzanne Lemonniot has been poring over surveillance video that captured what happened.
In this surveillance video from a nail salon, you see ICE officers pull up in a Jeep with lights flashing right in front of a silver Subaru. The Department of Homeland Security says the man behind the wheel is Silverio Villegas Gonzalez. Officers walk over to the car. One goes to the passenger side window, the other to the driver's side window. The officer at the passenger side appears to try to open the door. Then Villegas Gonzalez starts backing up, then drives away. You still see the officer who was at the passenger side door in the video. But what you don't see is the officer who was at the driver's side window. DHS says Villegas Gonzalez refused to follow law enforcement commands and drove his car at law enforcement officers, hitting an officer, then dragging him as he fled the scene. In this other surveillance video from a nearby business, you see the truck driver go west down Grand Avenue. A short time later, you hear what sounds like 2 gunshots. The statement from DHS says, fearing for his own life, the officer fired his weapon. After leaving the scene with police, Villegas Gonzalez crashed his Subaru, ending up under this truck. The truck driver posted this video on social media.
I'm a CDL truck driver, and a car hit my trailer because I think ICE tried to pull him over, and he crashed into my trailer.
You also see 2 officers on the ground next to Villegas Gonzalez. Jose Pedro de Blas works at a nearby auto shop. De Blas captured this video of the scene after the shooting happened.
And I go out and I see a large police presence, military presence. I even saw a guy with a FBI jacket. And you only see those at the movies.
Villegas Gonzalez was pronounced dead at a hospital. The officer has multiple injuries and is in stable condition. DHS says Villegas Gonzalez has a history of reckless driving, but we checked that and we've not been able to verify that. In Franklin Park, Suzanne Lemonniot, CBS News, Chicago.
Within the last 30 minutes, the girlfriend of Silverio Villegas Gonzalez arrived on the scene in Franklin Park, and our Jermont Terry spoke with her.
She just wants the person or the people who did it to come out with the truth on what happened.
What does she believe the truth is?
Mentira. Lies.
So that was Mora's daughter translating for her off camera. She tells us that Mora does not know how long Villegas Gonzalez has lived in Chicago and that they were childhood friends in Mexico. While that shooting investigation was underway, there were some tense moments outside the Broadview ICE facility.
If you do not do so, you may be arrested or subject to other police action. Other police action means the use of chemical or less lethal munitions, which could cause a significant risk of serious injury to those who remain.
At one point, we saw officers shooting several rounds of pepper balls into the crowd while clearing a space for cars to enter the facility. After stepping into the street, coming face to face with protesters, the officers slowly backed into the gates as protesters chanted shame.
It is my duty to use my privilege to try to protect those who are most vulnerable, and I'm here to show that it is inhumane to be snatching people off the streets and using this office building as a detention facility.
We talked with one counter-protester who was waving an American flag near the building's entrance. He says he was there to promote peace and stand up for ICE agents.
Any pizza, any toppings.
Let's move now to the latest in another breaking story we've been following all day long. Also a tragic one. A witness just told us a man was running for his life before a suspect beheaded him with a machete.
This story is extremely disturbing, and we need to warn you that some of the details you're going to hear may not be appropriate for young viewers. This all happened this morning in the parking lot of an East Dallas motel just off I-30 near Samuel Grand Park. Our Cole Sullivan has been on the scene since minutes after the attack. Cole, police tell us they do have a suspect in custody here.
And Dia, they arrested that suspect just about a block from where I'm standing up the road here. We saw a machete on the ground in the parking lot where they arrested that person. But the attack happened here at the downtown suites. It unfolded just after 9:30 this morning, police say. And this is the scene earlier today when police arrived here on scene. A witness I talked to said this was an argument that started out loud between two men in the parking lot of the motel when one of the people, the suspect, went inside a motel room and came back out with a machete and began slashing the other man. That victim started running for his life, the witness says, and nearly made it to the motel office before he slipped and fell, and the suspect caught up with him.
That's when he got over on the top of him, and then he hit him again, hit him on the foot. Then he trying to split. He was going to go vertical, and he was going to try to split his head. But I guess he changed his mind on that, and then he started just whacking at his neck.
That witness, who did not want her face shown, says that she believes that the suspect hit the victim more than 50 times with the machete. Police say that he died here on scene, and the witness says the suspect never said anything throughout that attack. Dia.
Cole, what do we know about how police were able to catch the suspect?
Police gave a little bit of information at a briefing earlier this afternoon. They say that they were able to get that suspect because they had officers already in this area proactively patrolling. They were on scene within minutes. They arrested him, as I said, about a block from where this attack unfolded. They say, a witness I talked to say that they drove past just before that happened and saw a man who appeared to have blood on him in the parking lot of a beer mart just up the road. Police say that they haven't released the name, I should say, of that suspect yet, but police say they expect to bring serious charges, as you would imagine, against him. Yeah.
All right, our Cole Sullivan reporting for us live on another tragic situation today. We appreciate that. Stay with us for continuing coverage on both of these developing stories. Senior crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez is looking into the background of the suspect in this beheading investigation. You'll find out what she's uncovered tonight at 6.
I had one the other night. I went into a restaurant, and this woman stood up. I looked at her immediately. She had money. She wasn't serious. They get paid for it. Their profession from Soros and other people. And we're going to look into Soros because I think it's a Rico case against him and other people. Because this is more than like protest. This is real agitation. This is riots on the street. And we're going to look into that.
What do we do about our country with that? Because we have radicals.
I had one the other night.
This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play, and we will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. But Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilized these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m., where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver it to Governor Cox and his team. Last night, we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake Field Office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is a very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions, and we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Video here make you decide to